Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when we sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. Rudo, Jesse, and Blais coming at you as the Avs drop this one 2-0 to the Carolina Hurricanes. Okay, I'm going to start with this.
Whoa.
Everyone in chat, you need to ask yourselves, are you a hockey fan or are you an Avs fan? And there's nothing wrong with you being an Avs fan and not a hockey fan. But if you're a hockey fan, you love this hockey game. Full stop. Great hockey game, top to bottom from both teams that had to be enjoyable, even if it is a disappointing result for Colorado. If you're a pure Avs fan and you're just sad that the Avs lost, that's fine. Totally reasonable. But this was a good hockey game, for sure. You have to be able to admit that. Okay.
Dude, there are some wild quotes out there, and we'll get into the Landy stuff. Jack Eichel. That's the loudest I've heard this place ever. It only took 7 years and me leaving for them to get into it.
Wow. Shots fired.
Yeah, holy shit. All that, and he couldn't score a goal to come through for me. What a dick.
Sucks to suck.
Did you guys see the Peter Mrazek goal that he gave up?
Gave up? He scored that thing.
Oh, no. Mrazek.
Oh, Mrazek. Sorry. He's still on Detroit in my mind.
Actually, somehow worse
than scoring on yourself.
The Nedeljkovic goal.
Wow.
Jeez.
Not good times.
What a night.
Not good times for goalies out here. Look, the Avs and Carolina, would you not love 7 games of this? Genuinely?
I tweeted it out.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't see your tweet, so.
I mean, again, it was a fun game to watch.
Yep.
Shitty way to lose the game, right? The way that the puck goes in the back of the net. But as far as end to end, this game was it was
a banger.
Yeah. That's a good way to describe it.
It was, it started the way that you expect. Carolina, they're rested, they're at home. We talked about it in the pregame. They hadn't played the Avs in 2 years. These two teams have been hearing about each other. Carolina's chasing the Avs. They want to prove, hey, we're right in there with you. They come out hot. Darcy Kemper was fantastic.
Phenomenal.
And then the Avs push back. And this game was just so much, this was a legitimate, heavyweight. Each team imposed their will. Each team played their style. Each team responded when they needed to. We'll get into the way that it ends and the goal that goes in and the play that kind of leads to it. There was a lot that kind of happened around there. But honestly, I said it in the pregame, I'm not so much worried about the result in this game. You want to see the effort. You want to see the Avs push back after a really disappointing, not just a disappointing result in New Jersey, but a really disappointing effort. And I thought you got that tonight. I thought it was a great game from the Avs. They showed some emotion. Rudo, I liked your tweet. I just saw, you don't want to blame it on the reffing. And again, we'll get there because Landy had some very choice words. Yeah. But Vegas literally did that to help them win a playoff series last year. You see teams do it all the time.
Let's not even beat around the bush. Let's just get into the ref conversation right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
I know I'm the odd one out here. I didn't have a problem with the reffing tonight. I really didn't. I thought it was fairly even and fairly consistent. The one thing they were calling all night on both sides was interference. Yeah, I get it. Cadri's really mad about the play that happened with Nino before the goal. Is it a light hold? Yeah, sure. Maybe there's a little bit of a stick in the skates there. I didn't hate the no call. If you did, fine. But I think the bigger conversation here is how upset the Avs are about it.
Well, and so Landy, before he even took questions, gave, I guess, what you technically refer to as a statement. And he said, I've been in this league 11 years. I've never done this. Everyone remembers, and a lot of people even said, oh, the offside call against San Jose a couple years ago. He was given the opportunity in that post-game press conference to rip the refs.
And didn't.
And he didn't. And there was a lot of people like, wow, that'll earn him a lot of goodwill with the refs.
Hasn't done shit.
Hasn't really done anything. So, he's kind of sitting there on the other side now saying, okay, well, that didn't get me anywhere, so now I am going to voice my frustration. And he's kind of echoed your sentiments, but he stopped at the first 50 minutes. and again, I think I'm somewhere in between where you are and what he's saying, because he first calls out the high stick on Cadri.
I still haven't seen a good angle. I have no idea.
Right.
That could be a blatant penalty or not one at all.
And he, Landeskog said, we were arguing to the refs, okay, that's a high stick, but he sold it like crazy. That should also be embellishment. They said, nope, it's still a high stick. Then, after the no call on Cadri, they went to the refs and said that was a hook, and they said, well, Kadri's selling it like crazy. Yep. And they were like, it's still a hook, which is the exact explanation you guys gave us on the call that you made against us 3 minutes ago. And then, so the no call on Cadri leads to a goal. They then give the explanation of, well, he sold it too much. And then the only area where I really had an issue was then a shift and a half later.
They call the ticky-tack-tays
right,
hook. Sure.
Yeah. Stick foul on Jonathan Taves. Whoa, Devon Taves. And that's where I think they lost that consistency, and that's where the Avs, I thought, had a right to get upset, because I agree with you. I didn't have much of an issue with the officiating for most of that game.
I want to hear Blais' conversation, but I do want to get this comment from Anthony, because I completely disagree. I think complaining about the refs is a fucking great look for the Avs. I think it's what they need to do, and the historic track record of teams complaining about the refs has worked out great for them.
Yeah.
Recent history.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Vegas last year. It was the thing that was like, oh, the Avs are getting way too many calls. DeBoer goes out there, basically says, hey, they're getting way too many calls. And then all of a sudden, the whistles just got swallowed the rest of that series, and Vegas took advantage of it.
Yeah.
And track record of this season, first 41 games of the year, the Avs drew the most penalties in the NHL. Look at their last 15 games. The penalty calls they're getting are way, way down. Yeah. Way down.
Who was it? Literally just last week, it was a coach who he started his press conference the same way, but like way more aggressive. I don't remember who it was, but they actually talked about it on 32 Thoughts, and Elliot Friedman said, I think, and I'll look it up and I'll have it for tomorrow's pod, but he goes, he knows where we're at in the schedule, and he's putting that out there so that come playoff time, the refs remember, oh, this guy's not happy, and it right, wrong, indifferent, it is a thing that works. Now, I do agree that if you are doing this after every game, every whistle, then yes, I fully agree that is a bad look. But the Avs, again, going back to the Landeskog offside thing, they have taken the high road on the officiating every single time. They have been asked about it
the entirety of Bednar's tenure. Yeah, they haven't said a word.
They've been given opportunities to by us asking him questions. By them they've got the microphone every night. They can do it. They haven't. This is the first time we've seen anybody from the Avs do it in the Bednar era, and you got to play the game. You got to play the game, and that's and I mean in turn like the mental game. Sure. And like you said, Pete DeBoer did it last year. Yeah, look at all the calls they're getting, and then the pendulum swung the other way. Now the one thing I pound the drum on, and AJ tweeted it out, the way you fix a lot of this, make them available.
Yep.
Make the two officials. You don't have to make the linesmen available. Make the two officials available for media after the game.
If Luxmore is available after this game, there are zero questions left from any of us. He sits there. He'll tell us his process, and we either say, okay, that's reasonable, or we say, okay, that's bullshit.
Right.
Like, there's no two ways about it. Instead, we're stuck here speculating.
Yeah.
So.
And I would love to see that going forward.
Oh, dude, so bad. And I mean, Blais.
What do you got to do? What do you got to do to make that work?
Yep.
Well, because what's so frustrating is, like, and you see it even on TV, players approach refs to talk, and they just to the box,
go away.
To the box. And it's like, and I'm sure in the NHL you do get explanations at different times.
Yeah.
But there is so much of it where it does feel like, again, you're trying to understand what it is they're calling, and they're telling you to skate away. So it's like I'm trying to understand what is and is not a penalty, and where I do have an issue with the officiating tonight is what Landeskog said. If the conversation was, a high stick is a high stick, doesn't matter if he embellished it. Why isn't that a hook? Well, he embellished it. Those plays happen 4 or 5 minutes apart. That is where I do have an issue, because that's where you lose the consistency. You lose the consistency of you called this way the whole night. You didn't.
Did Moose ever ref any of your games?
I think so.
Yeah. So he coached, or not coached, he reffed college games.
Yeah.
A few NHL games.
Yep.
He would do men's leagues games here and there. He's from Colorado. He died. He passed away.
Yes.
One of the greatest refs I've ever got to play, like him reffing a game, because anytime anything happened, he would say, "Here's the call. This is why I'm calling you," as he's skating you to the box, right?
Yep.
So you knew exactly what you were doing, and you could talk to him, and he'd be like, "This is what I saw."
Yeah, and again, you assume that you get some of that in the NHL, but there is just this lack of accountability that does bother me.
Yeah.
Now, I think all of that is true, but this was a phenomenal hockey game, and that's actually part of the reason why it's like a little disappointing. It's like, that was such a great game, and to see it end on such an ugly sequence of events, culminating up to this skipping, bouncing puck into the net. Phenomenal goalie duel all night. It's a shame. One of them was going to have to get beat. It's a shame it's something like that.
I kind of low-key love the way the game
This dude likes
ended.
Ties and ugly goals ending great
90s
hockey games.
baby. 90s hockey. Come on. But the one thing I have a problem with more than any of this is Gabe Landeskog getting tossed out of this game. Why? We watched dudes yell at the refs all night. Every night.
Do you know what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me he had a rough night.
He had a rough night. That's pretty soft if you're kicking a guy out.
That shit happens
That.
every night to refs.
I imagine that he had been barking for a while.
I'm sure he had.
I would guess because I was like, really? That's what you're talking
Cadri was too, right? Like they showed a close up of him on the bench
and
as well.
He got tossed out after it's 2-0, and no one cares at that point, right? The game was over, so it doesn't matter. But I want to see, and again, this is solved by a ref presser. Explain it to me.
Right.
Explain what the F is going on, and maybe I'll have a little bit more sympathy for the referee. But as it is, I have zero sympathy for the ref's position in this hockey game. Even I'm the guy who thought they called a decent game, and I'm like, explain it to me,
right?
Please,
right? And yeah, I thought this was a really good game. I thought it was a well officiated game. There's a few things and this is the part where it's disappointing. Say 95% of this game, you're fine with the officiating. There's a couple plays where you sit there and you're like, holy shit, that ended up being the difference. Not saying that's necessarily why they lost, but this is a great game, and it was going to break one way or the other. Great back and forth, and that is part of what makes it disappointing to see it end on what you could say was a hook, and then an ugly bouncing goal.
Yeah,
a hell of a bounce. All right, we are brought to you all by DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, you can go over there and bet $5 on any college basketball conference final game and win $200 in free bets if you pick the winning team. So jump on that. Go get $200 in free bets. Go to DraftKings. Bet it on, I don't know. Bet it on someone not named Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton to win the F1 championship. Why not? Have a little bit of fun. Get in on that. Bet on Carolina to win the Stanley Cup, if that's how you feel about it. I don't care. Bet it on whatever you want. You can do that with DraftKings. Pretty much every sporting event in existence is bettable on that app. So go download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code DNVR when you sign up to get the opportunity to bet $5 and win $200 in free bets on any college basketball conference finals game. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Other terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And, of course, if you have the gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Now, I don't know how you watch this game, chat. I'm going to assume most of you probably did some unscrupulous things. to find a way to watch this hockey game. You don't have to, at least if you're in the Denver metro area. You can go get Avaca TV, just $25 a month. Hooks right into your TV like a normal receiver. It's just like watching cable, but, it's not Comcast, so everybody wins. And it's cheaper than DirecTV or some of your other options. They have Altitude. They'll have Rocky Mountain, AT&T, Rocky Mountain, whatever it is. No, I don't know. The Rockies channel.
AT&T Sportsnet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They have the Rockies channel, which Rockies are a thing again. They're having a season, so they got you covered on all.
We'll
Colorado
call it
sports.
a season.
Yeah.
I mean, they're having a season.
The Rockies will participate in games.
There we go.
That's a season. I think that's the definition of a season right there. So you have that too. They have national channels as well. Jump on it. Go on over there. Get that.
Did anybody else see that guy wander up the stairs and realize he was in the wrong place?
No, I did not. Avaca TV is great. Go to avaca.tv/DNVR. That's EVOCA.TV/DNVR. Sign up for it today. And great time to go get yourself a DNVR Avalanche membership. Trade deadline right around the corner. We've been pumping out content like machines lately, whether it be deadline or otherwise. So lots of stuff to go read on thednvr.com right now from the Avalanche beat. Have a bunch of YouTube videos too. Check those out. Like, subscribe, do the whole thing. Or be mad at us because we're not mad enough that the Avs lost this game, I guess, if you want. That's your business. You're allowed to be mad. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Before we get into anything, I wanted to say one thing about the Rockies, because everyone does baseball is back. It's like they just moved the schedule. No one missed a game. Baseball hadn't started yet.
Yeah, but also
the NHL's been through 2 lockouts where you gone past what should have been the opening day. One of them you missed season altogether. So I don't want to hear all this is back.
I feel like that's just on the NHL for being shitty at negotiating deals.
No, but I'm just saying, from the fan standpoint, I've been there, I've bled, I've seen it, I lived it.
It's back, baby.
Yeah, it was baseball's back. It's baseball wasn't supposed to start yet.
All right, let's have a positive moment and get to our king of the game, which is going to be Darcy Kemper.
Absolutely.
Obviously, the goaltender that gave up a goal in this game, but let's face it, a lesser goalie in net for the first 10 minutes of this hockey game, and it could have been 3-0 Carolina real fast. So Kemper gave the Avs every chance to win this hockey game. Obviously, things didn't work out, but after a couple of sketchy games from him, tonight you're like, all right, no, he's the guy.
No, yeah, he was great. You knew that Carolina was going to have a strong push there to start, and he did a great job keeping the Avs in it. Didn't give Carolina anything and allowed the Avs to get on their toes a little bit. This is what you're looking for out of him.
Yeah, the Avs started off real shaky up front. I mean, Rantanen, blatant just giveaway of the trying to do too much in the defensive zone and loses the puck. Basically springs a guy for a breakaway.
Yep.
And then not much later has I don't know who had the second one, but it was
you know who it was.
Oh, it was EJ. I should have known.
For the record, later on in this game, EJ had multiple great stick checks. Want to give the guy some credit, but that turnover in the first,
yeah, it's the most predictable drop pass of all time.
I mean, our Nuggets
Almost
guys were even talking
ladies.
about the stick checks out there, saying it was great.
Yeah, no, again, that first 10 minutes, Carolina got the Avs running around a little bit, but after that, really, I thought for the most part, everyone on everyone on both teams, I thought it just really played well.
They settled in.
Yeah, exactly. Both teams really settled in. I really am struggling to remember any egregious errors by either team outside of maybe that first 5-7 minutes for the Avs when Carolina really came out of the gates hard.
And the Avs survived. They got decent minutes out of Curtis McDermott, out of Ryan Murray. On a night without Sam Girard, their defense did okay. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say it was great with the bottom 4, but it didn't kill them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's all you can really ask. And then you have the second period where the Avs top forwards started making their mark on the game. They beat Ronta twice. Puck just doesn't go in.
Yep. And then he makes a phenomenal save on Nathan McKinnon.
Yep.
I thought that hit post first, but it hit
shoulder
first, right? And then
post.
So
I mean, that's fun part about hockey, right? It's a game of inches. The Avs, was it 2 posts or 3?
At least 2. I don't know. The third one I'd have to go back and look.
You know, 2 or 3 posts and a save that catches the top quarter inch of Antti Ranta's shoulder pad, or you're maybe looking at a 2-3-0 lead for the Avs, and the Cadri hook, non-hook, whatever is completely irrelevant. So that's why again, you're disappointed with the result. You lost. You're always disappointed when you lose. It was a really good game, and the Avs had several chances to win it, to score, and 2 really good teams.
Yeah. Again,
fun hockey.
I don't know. Like, if you're the NHL and you watch this hockey game, you're like, boy, sure would love more of that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was just a quality, great hockey game. And let's be honest, the funny thing about 0-0 hockey games is they pretty regularly end the way this one did.
Yep.
It's not often a great goal where some crazy good play happens. It's usually some nonsense that no one's hyped about on the actual play itself. And that's hockey.
Yeah, it went off Cadri's shin guard, right? Like, is that where Cadri, I think, up front.
Hit Cadri first.
Bounce off the ice.
Hit Cadri, bounced off the ice and in.
Yep.
And it goes like far post and in, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, and you can even tell by the way that Kemper reacted to it. It's just like, LOL.
Yeah, nothing anyone can do about that.
I didn't realize in the Vegas loss to Buffalo, both Alex Tuck and Peyton Krebs had goals.
Yep. Shocking.
Is it though?
No, not even a little. Not even a little bit.
So awesome for them, though.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, dude, I'll bet you. I mean, they're so far out of it. This will be the biggest, fucking hardest they party all night.
For sure.
Yeah.
That was their Stanley Cup.
I said that about the Coyotes last week when they
They're
beat
still
the Avs.
going.
Yep.
I was like, that was their Stanley Cup. They beat the Avs twice.
They beat the Leafs tonight.
Yeah, in overtime.
4 straight. That's enough to win a series for Arizona right there. Yes, love the comment, Michael. Avs PK got her done tonight.
Yeah.
And I was saying this the entire night on the watch along. This was a hockey game that deserved a 5-on-5 ending. I love that neither team scored on the special teams. Obviously, the goal was dumb and silly and stupid, but these were 2 teams that were going at it, giving each other their best. And it was decided, well, okay, let's have this conversation. Were they offside?
So Bednar was asked about it post-game, and he said they were real close to challenging just to see if they get it overturned.
Why wouldn't you?
Because he said they didn't feel like they had anything conclusive, and given the way the ruling is, it had to be clear that it was offside.
It looked
and
pretty clear on that post-game angles.
That reverse angle.
Yeah. I mean, and the argument that Bednar made was he said his toe was on the line.
It was close. I hear you.
But then by the time his skate was fully over, he said he felt like they would pull the possession thing. Oh, well, at that point, he had possession.
But he was... okay.
That's
okay. Okay.
So, bro, I mean, that's as close as it comes.
I hear you.
I thought it was a coaching error on Bednar's point.
I agree.
Like, on his part, excuse me, because, like, right at that point in the game, right, there's what?
Your odds of winning
5 minutes left.
6 minutes left
so
when that goal was scored,
low,
right? Yeah, and there's been no goals scored the whole game. They go up 1 goal, and it's questionable if he's offsides. Might as well take the chance.
Yeah.
And then look what happens anyways, because
I was going to say with the
30 seconds later, they take a penalty anyways. So.
With the benefit of hindsight, knowing that you're going to end up being fucking shorthanded.
Yeah, well,
no, because you and I were laughing about that during the game. Like, well, if I would have known that, just send it on the challenge. But, I think what Bednar's thinking there is, I trust my team to go out and get one and get us back in this. They were pissed. They were hungry. Okay, cool. We've got 6 minutes to work with. I believe that my guys are going to be able to go out there and make something happen. And again, such an unfortunate series of events that take place right after that. I think if that's a goal to make it 2-0, yeah, you make that challenge. But in a game that's,
I don't think there's I think you 1-0. You make it every time.
Every
time.
See, but you're in a 1-0 game. You're one shot away. Why risk putting yourself shorthanded and now putting yourself 2 shots away from getting back into a game with 5 minutes left?
So, 2 things. If you want to get into the analytics of it, if you're down 1 with 6 minutes left in a hockey game, I think you lose way more of a percentage of the time than a percentage that gets called a good goal. I'll start there.
I don't know. that was a really close one.
I hear you. And 2, if you believe in your team to score a goal in 6 minutes, do you believe a team to score a goal in 4 minutes?
No. But that's
I know.
That you killed a penalty.
I know. But
Carolina's coming off a goal. They've got momentum.
You're also on a night where your PK has been aces up to this point in the game. And you have to to give your team the best chance to win. And I think challenging that gives them the best chance to win.
I just think when it's that close, I didn't like that he said it, but I understood it more when he said it was close enough, and we thought if anything they would say, well, it's possession at that point. The puck is in motion. It's hard to tell where it is. When you see it in those reverse angles, it's so close, but it's close enough that I don't know if it's conclusive, and then you give a team that just got some momentum a chance to set up in the offensive zone.
And here's my argument.
It's a coin flip.
That it's not possession. Is that the dude zips into the zone.
Oh, I agree with you on this.
He comes back to the blue line, and whether he's offside or not, I think he was. But he gets the puck and whips it into the zone. Right. Like, there's no, I'm going to hold on to this and get the blue line. There's a send it.
And that is the one spot where, it's hard for us because Bednar's the one that's had those conversations with officials in the past and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that, this is any reason not to do it, but if he feels like, I know these guys, they're going to say that's possession. I just think it was close enough that, cool, I trust that my guys are capable of going out and getting one, especially now that they've got a little bit of that hunger. It was tough. It's a really tough. I'm not envious of his position in that moment.
I would also like to point out that the linesmen were terrible tonight. There were like 4 possessions in a row. The Avs come down in the first or second period, and Darren Helm is like 8 feet offside. And they're like, nope, it's fine.
I was calling them while we were watching. I was like, that's offside.
On the watch along, I'm like, it's not even close. Like,
yeah.
Avs are going to score here. They didn't, but yeah.
And now here is one thing that I will say, because, and maybe this group of linesmen was the worst group that you could have for this moment, because that play that led to the goal, as close as it was, that is something that we've seen officials err on the side of. I don't necessarily know if caution is the right word, but
let the challenge sort it out.
Well, oh no, I'm going the other way.
I don't agree.
I feel like I've seen several where it's
just blow it dead.
Yeah, they just blow it dead, and I feel like I've said out loud, if it's close enough, why not just let it play out and let the challenge play it out? And I feel like I've seen officials blow stuff dead that's close, and tonight they didn't. That honestly seemed like one to me where we've seen officials. And
I don't know how close it was, though. That's the problem. Like, there's a few of them that were blatant.
Oh, no, I'm talking about on the goal.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Let's just go back
to Av stuff.
2006, where there's no challenges. It's just whatever the call is stands. No one gets to question it. It just is. Let's go back. We've gone down the wrong path.
This is another conversation that I love having. We did it on a TDSP once of, like, you do it to get the call right and stuff. And this is my other thing. Had they reviewed that and called it offside, obviously it would have been great for the Avs. But, like, those are the exact type of plays where I really do. I just have such an issue with those. You're talking fractions of
literally
millimeters.
Had zero effect on the play.
Right. Fractions of millimeters, frame by frame. Again, there's 1,000 Avalanche examples where it's like that. You're saying that overturns this play.
Well, and the bigger problem I have with it is, like you said, they do it to get the call right. I don't have any fucking confidence that the review gets the call right half the time.
Right.
So you guys are endorsing cheating. Cool. That's what this pod's turned into. You guys want a bunch of cheaters out there.
If you're not cheating,
this is now the Vegas Golden Knights podcast. So it was so close that honestly, had he challenged it, wouldn't have had an issue with it, because kind of like what you guys are saying, you're going for it. But I honestly do like the vote of confidence in his team. Obviously, it's a shame it didn't work out. They go out and score the next shift, and this is a completely different conversation where we're saying, Bednar's a genius. He knew that his guys would go get it done. Interesting coaching call. You can definitely make the argument that it was a missed. Yeah,
I just think inside of that game, right, where it's just such a close game, there's not a lot of scoring chances
the one
happening.
goal is so big.
That one goal felt like that was the game winner. It's like, might as well see if you can challenge it and get it reversed.
I really did. This game to me had the whole night had the feel of it's going to go zeros, and then you're going to get 2 goals in 90 seconds or something like that, like a goal and a response. Because that's usually how this stupid shit like that happens all the time. I think it was the Florida Panthers and Washington Capitals shit. This must have been 6-7 years ago when they went like 25 rounds deep in the shootout, and they would literally go 10 rounds in between a goal, and then both guys would score to keep it going.
Yeah.
And that was how this game felt to me, was someone's going to break through. It's going to be this huge like relief, and then the other team's going to come right back and score. So I guess maybe that was why I felt a little bit different when he didn't challenge it. I was like, they're going to go get it right back anyways, and now we're going to go 1-1 to overtime. But yeah, again, game of inches, right?
Yep. It's just that much of a difference is what matters. And look, if you want to be mad at the Avs for not finishing their chances, reasonable take. The Avs couldn't find a way to score a goal tonight.
Couldn't beat the post.
It would have only taken one. And they probably win. Whoever scores first in this game probably wins.
Yep.
And the Avs couldn't find one. You want better. You want better on the offensive side of the puck from Colorado. And look, I think we can all... I'll ask. Can we all agree to give the defense a pass tonight? Johnson and Johnson is your second pairing. Are we really expecting a lot out of that?
Well, I thought they were fine.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like... You're not going to ask for more than what you got out of it tonight.
No.
I mean, it kind of shows you the value in Sammy as well.
100%.
I mean, Sammy plus Byram, like, that changes that whole thing back there, right?
Yeah.
That's your second pairing.
It looks completely different.
Yeah, so.
The whole game looks completely different.
Yeah.
It's just wildly different on that front. So, the only real nitpick I have in the Avs game is that they didn't finish.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you can really be upset with on Colorado's side of this hockey game other than maybe Bednar didn't challenge.
Yeah. I mean, they had their chances. Like you said, they just didn't finish them. It wasn't like they were just getting, shellacked and, it was Carolina and Aho just taking it to them.
Right.
It was a pretty competitive game, but again, like, the Avs sometimes have a problem of getting too cute.
Yeah.
And deferring to passing, which you saw a few times tonight. They're looking for the perfect play.
Cadri had one.
Yes, instead of putting pucks on net. And I think that's the thing that really kind of screwed them tonight.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Do want to talk about it a little bit more, but grab yourself a Breck Brew while you're at it. Unfortunately, no goals from the Avs doesn't mean free beer. But Breck beer, still delicious stuff. You're going to want to get in on it. Every time the Avs do score 2 goals, which in the first period, they will again this season, I promise. It'll happen. You get a free beer from Breck Brew if you keep your receipt. Just go over there, check in with breckbrew.com, send them a picture of your receipt. They'll reimburse you for your first beer of the night. It's delicious stuff. You cannot go wrong with Breck Brew. Highly recommend you go check out all of their stuff. They got dope merch. I know everyone's been hard up, hitting me up for their trucker hats, the Avalanche Breck Brew. It's dope. Go look at it. A lot of people love the thing. Also, make sure you're taking care of your teeth. If you are like the guy Cadri high-sticked and embellishing how bad your teeth are, go to Green Mountain Dental Group, get your teeth checked out, get a cleaning x-ray and exam from them, and you get a free Sonicare toothbrush to take care of your teeth at home. So jump on that. Green Mountain Dental Group, just 15 minutes from downtown over in Lakewood. Great at what they do. Can give you the pearly white so you can flash your smile when you fake getting hit in the face. It works. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. We do have one super chat here from Real Politic, $5, saying, best things about LA, weather, burritos, looking at you, Blais, and can watch Avs games without illicit behavior.
Yeah.
Must be nice. Must be nice to not be in the broadcast range. Good on you. Happy for you.
And good burritos. California's got them.
Are they the best? What's the best burrito you've had, Blais?
Ever? It was in Phoenix.
Okay.
Shocked you actually have an answer for this. I don't know if I could answer this
Off the
question.
top, you're just like, oh yeah, Phoenix.
No, I'm trying to think of the place I was at.
Real cute boutique-y place.
It was one of those.
Yeah, I fucking
Actually,
bet
it wasn't. It was kind of like in the slums of Phoenix. It was a little sketchy.
Some
but
guy down an alley just shoved
It
one
was
in
an
my
actual
hand.
place.
Is it Phil Kessel?
It was Phil Kessel's house. It was delicious. That guy can cook a mean burrito.
Amazing.
Number 2, the bar right here.
Hey,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
let's
fuck
go. The burrito is good here with the carnitas, I assume.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. So, you can break this game down into 3 periods. Shocking, I know. But first period was definitely Canes. Second period was definitely Avs.
Yep.
Third period, do you feel it was fairly even? Obviously, Canes got the goal, and the nonsense after the goal, I'm kind of willing to just forget about. But the first 15 minutes of the third, fairly even?
Yeah, I thought... I think the first period was Canes, second period was Avs, and then I thought you saw the teams kind of trade blows, trade possession. I thought maybe Carolina had a slight edge in the third. The Avs seemed to struggle a few at times to control the zone. They were getting pucks in deep, and I felt like Carolina was breaking them out pretty quick. But other than that, yeah, I don't know, Blais.
I'd even say in the first period, I'd say the first half of the period was definitely Canes.
Yeah.
Second half of the period, the ice started to shift a little bit, and you started to see the Avs actually sustain some pressure inside the offensive zone. So you could kind of see that the second period was going to kind of be taken over by the Avalanche, just the way that they were playing out. They got more comfortable, started moving the puck around the way that they wanted to, and it felt like they finally got the Canes to, sit back on their heels a little bit.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I think you guys basically hit it. Third period, I think, was a toss-up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you do that third period 100 times, it's probably a 50-50 draw on this game,
seriously.
on goals in that period.
I know I've already, Blais and Jesse have both been mad at me about this already, and chat was mad at me about it during the watch along, but that's hockey, man. That's how these games end all the time. When it's 0-0, you know it's going to be some stupid shit where something dumb happens and the one team gets a lucky bounce, and that's what goes on. And honestly, I love that about hockey. I think it's awesome that sometimes just some stupid bullshit happens and you win a game.
See, now here is where I will give you shit. Is that you're like, oh, I love that. That's hockey. Just something crazy happens in it, but don't take it to a shootout because that's gimmicky. It's like
It is.
no. If you're gonna be okay,
You keep playing until someone gets a stupid bounce.
I'd just rather end it on a nice play. Wow, that was a high skill, high end goal.
No.
Could you imagine if they just played it out
Oh, yes.
until somebody scored?
The best.
Like, remember that Boston series that went like
5 overtime,
5
6
or
overtimes,
6
whatever it was.
overtimes for a regular season game where it's like, well, let's see, viewership's down to 3 guys.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm all about.
I mean, again, you're right. Like, you see ugly bounce all the time, but like to me, I hate to see. And I would have said this had it gone the other way. You hate to see a team lose a great hockey game on some stupid shit like that. Where again, Darcy Kemper didn't deserve that.
No, he didn't.
He played fantastic, and to have it be, and again, I would have said the same thing about Antti Ranta had it gone the other way, where it's like a skipping, bouncing puck. Really, at least if you lose in a shootout, you got beat clean. He was stronger than you. He beat you.
I hear what you're saying, and part of me agrees with it, but part of me also remembers the Ryan O'Reilly goal against San Jose in the playoffs, and it was like,
where you missed the puck.
Didn't matter. Won. Ha, suck it. Like,
well, yeah, but see, again, like you mean the Brian Boyle goal that was credited to Ryan O'Reilly?
Yes, correct.
And see, again, like that's one of those things where I even remember thinking that at the time, like, holy shit, that's amazing that they won. They're up 1-0, but god damn, you feel bad for Evgeny Nabokov. Holy smokes.
I feel bad for him for about 4 seconds.
Well, yeah.
And then I have moved on, and it's celebration
team,
time.
Yes.
Is hockey the only sport where this happens, where one team...
Yes.
Not tonight. I'm not talking about tonight's game.
Right.
But just hockey in general, right? Where you can have a team playing out of their mind, get all the scoring opportunities that they want. The other team plays like shit, puts 10 shots on net, wins 3-1.
I think it happens to some level in other sports, but nowhere near the level that it happens in hockey. I don't think it's even close.
I mean, it happens 3 times a week in the NHL. and when stuff like that happens in other sports,
it's like a shocking big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And honestly, maybe football is the only one where you could say something like that could happen. Because basketball, if you're clearly outplaying the other team, you're going to get more looks. Yeah, and you're just gonna accrue more points naturally. Baseball, maybe. If
you can get some weird like bloopers or an error or stuff.
Right, something like that. Where you have a great pitching duel, and then
a fan leans out and catches a ball in foul territory, and you go on to lose the game. By the way, Cubs, that was not. No. Okay. That. What's his name? I forget.
Oh, sorry. Are you taking this all the way back to?
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
He didn't give up 5 runs in that
inning. What's his name?
I can't remember his name either.
Doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, it happens. You see it in hockey all the time, where you click on a box score and it's like, whoa, they got outshot 41-17,
Didn't matter.
They won 4-1. And that is part of what makes hockey great.
Bartman, thank you.
Yep. You
didn't even say Bartman, but it was close enough.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
That's part of what makes hockey great, man, is there's the for some reason it gets attached to football, the any given Sunday thing.
Yeah.
That's how hockey is at every level.
Every night.
Any team can win if you get
Well,
the
and that's
right
why
set
the
of bounces.
playoffs are the way that they are,
Yep.
right? To make sure like those flukes don't happen.
Yeah. Don't decide.
Why you play a 7-game series?
Yeah. You gotta win 4 times because hockey's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
We do have another super chat here, which we can get to. $5 from Josh. I have no problem with the goal itself, and had that happened in the Avs' favor, it would have been awesome. My problem is the Nas bias.
So that was another thing that Landeskog addressed in his post-game comments. I'm going to pull up the exact quote here. And look, I probably buy into the whole the NHL hates Nazem Kadri conspiracy the least. I just don't. I
don't buy it either.
I don't lean into it very much. Let's see here.
But once you get labeled, you're labeled.
Well, right. So Gabe Landeskog, this was Gabe Landeskog's exact quote. They're saying Nas is flopping. We're arguing it's still a hook, just like they were arguing before. It's unfortunate because that's a playoff game tonight. It's very unfortunate that it comes down to that. Whether a guy has been suspended numerous times or not, is he carrying around that heavy baggage forever? I'm not saying TJ and Wes didn't call it for that reason, but Nas is a guy that's competitive. Whether he sold the call or not, you can look at the video, and the stick was in his waist, and that's why he loses the puck. I think it's unfortunate. again, I don't buy into the conspiracy theory that the NHL hates Nazem Kadri and tells officials to call stuff on him. But you're 100% right, Blais. And again, this is at every level. Once you get that reputation, you either get calls or you don't. There is they lean one way or the other, and Nas does not get any calls.
Here's the take I will make here. Nas complains to the refs a lot.
Oh, yeah.
He does. Just factual. I think the refs know that. I think they are aware. And I think that creates a situation where the refs are kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever, Nas. You're just yelling at us again. When Landy comes out and says that, that's when the refs stand up and go, oh, shit.
Yeah, it'll be real interesting to see what the fallout of this whole thing is.
Well, because, and this, taking this all the way back to the start of the show, and maybe this is a great way to start winding this down, you know, you've seen teams do this before where they will make public comments calling out the officiating. And what it does is it puts a spotlight on, and he called them out by name, TJ and Wes. He called out the two referees in tonight's game by name. And regardless of how they feel about it, you know, everyone loves Wes McCauley and all that stuff, but Gabe Landeskog just said, these two officials in particular look like they have a bit of a bias against Nazem Kadri. And that's a prominent player putting that out there, and he made sure to say it in a politically correct way that's not going to get him. I don't think it gets him fined. If it gets him fined $10,000, he doesn't care. But now there is a bit of a spotlight, and the next time Wes McCauley or what's TJ Luxmore?
Luxmore, yeah.
Next time they're officiating an Avalanche game and they make a dicey call on Nazem Kadri or a dicey non-call, now the Avs, see, look, we told you guys after the game in Carolina that they have it out for him. And here it is again.
Great point.
And they have now floated that out there, and TJ Luxmore and Wes McCauley, it's in the back of their mind now.
Yeah.
And the next time there's a 50-50 call with one of those guys, I'll bet you Nas gets it.
I would agree.
Because they don't want to look like they are fulfilling the conspiracy
There's a genuine track record of teams saying, hey, this is bullshit, and the refs, suddenly things are going their way.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not even just a track record. It's like a laundry list of teams, coaches, GMs that have done this. Whoever Pittsburgh's GM was during their back-to-back cup runs.
You can go all the way back to Joe Quenneville in Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, it literally goes decades back.
Right,
this works.
Well, and like I said, in Pittsburgh's case, it was Jim Rutherford.
Yep.
These calls are ridiculous. Switches, and I'm not saying that's why they went on to win the cup, but there is some 3D chess that you have to play. And you like that it was Landeskog. He didn't go up there with anyone else. They had two mics set out. It's usually two players for availability now in our post-COVID. And when I say post-COVID, I mean since March 2020.
Sure.
Reality, it's usually two players for post-game and then coach.
Yep.
It was just Landy. He got up, gave the statement, answered a couple questions. What did you say to Luxmore that got you booted, et cetera, et cetera. This is the first time we've seen the Avs try to play a little bit of that off-ice game, and it's, Blais, I agree 100%. It's going to be interesting to see the fallout, follow-up, whatever you want to call it from this.
Look, I'm sure the Avs will happily pay the fine if that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I'm sure Cadri will pitch in 50%.
So, we'll see how that all goes. Again, I don't know. If you want to feel bad about it, fine. Fan how you want to fan. I'm not here to tell you how to feel, but that was a great hockey game. I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm going to enjoy it for what it was and say, the one bounce went Carolina's way, on to the next one. Anything else?
I thought it was a great game. It was super fun to watch. I mean, again, you don't like the outcome.
Of course.
But, again, like if that's the Stanley Cup final, that's going to be awesome.
Dude, one of the most fun games I ever played in my life, we lost 1-0.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite hockey memories. It was such
every shift matters, right?
Right. And this was another game like that where you lose. You wish there was a different result for your team. Kind of like the Vegas Avalanche series last year. One of these teams has to lose. It's unfortunate that it's the one that this podcast is about. But that's a great game. Blais, I think you're right when you said earlier. If you replay that game 100 times, you probably get as close to a 50-50 split as you're going to get.
If you're 0-0 with 10 minutes left in the game, some stuff going on out there, eh?
That's a SWAT vehicle.
I didn't look.
That's the full-on SWAT.
I didn't look at like high danger chances or anything, but just like the shots on goal, 36-37.
Yeah, I mean,
it's such an even game.
It's a banger of a game. If you believe in the Avalanche, you will take them 0-0 with 10 minutes left against any team every night. And sometimes they're going to lose, like tonight. But if you believe this is a Stanley Cup caliber team, you will take that scenario. Didn't work out for them tonight. That's all I got.
Yeah, and I'm just going to... Last thing, no one else is allowed to talk after I say this.
Okay.
But no, that exactly what you just said goes back to the challenge, no challenge thing. I think you even picked this team a fair amount of times down 1-0 with less than 10 minutes left in the third. And you got no problems with tonight's game other than shucks. Bad result.
There you go. It happens.
You can't talk.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have to be right.
Well, I do have to end the show. I do have to end the show. I mean, you can end the show if you want.
Well, I mean, you already started talking, so you might as well keep doing that.
You can call me out in the post-game presser.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have them leave, and then I'm gonna make a statement after this.
Chat, we love all you. We appreciate you hanging out with us. You know, whatever the result, we will be back with you tomorrow. Roast your rosters, which is really just roasting your trades. Get your stuff in on Cap Friendly. Put DNVR in the title. We're going to do a bunch of them tomorrow, including our own. So be sure to tune in for that. Have a fun time as we chat about trade deadline nonsense. Yeah, hope to see you there. Until then, we will talk to you on the next one.